Hi, welcome to my life in overcast, cool, very comfortable, and a little bit moistened Central Texas. I don't know how much rain there has already been today, but it's enough that 3 of the neighborhood chickens are in my yard finding the bugs that have been trying to escape the moisture down below ground. I shouldn't call them neighborhood chickens, but they're let out so much, or get out so much, that they might as well be. In theory, they belong to somebody. When these blueberries finish changing color, I might toss them into the yard for them to find. That'll be interesting. They'll either enjoy the blueberries or the insects that find them, or both. It's alright. I'm still deadheading the one that's got one berry on it, because all the others kind of... I don't know if we had too cold a day for the flowers to survive, or if they just didn't get fertilized. I know we had bees and things flying around at about the right time, so it's an either or. I don't know what the situation was. Oh, I thought I had 3 chickens in my yard. Apparently it's 4. Chickens are crazy. There's a few times you can tell exactly what they're up to, most of the time not. If they're in the grass, it's bugs and seeds time. If they're on the driveway, it's gravel time. It's not like I never see bugs on the driveway either. I mean, if they're getting away from a high moisture area, that might be a place they wind up going. I don't know. But it's still a nice day. It's comfortable. I put some beef in the oven just a bit ago. I got some of those funky cut short ribs. And I am sleeveless, and it will be a while before my class this afternoon, so I have time for those short ribs to cook. And eat, and my stomach to be all settled before I go off for my Wednesday class. Now, we've got 3 new subscribers and assorted others, and we've got I think 51 subscribers now. It took a little while because I wasn't going out of my way to act like this is a business or something. Maybe I should have. But we got Bill Knott up in Alaska. If you haven't seen his channel and you're on a weight loss and health journey, maybe you should. Now, he does have affiliate links because there are some companies helping him in his health journey. When you start off at 700 pounds, you got a long way to go. And he's getting there, and it'll take a while to get where he's going. So you can catch up and binge watch some videos, give him some minutes viewed. You know, that matters to a content creator. But now that he's following my channel, he's gonna probably tell me I should get my guitar case out and be learning it. I have one. It's beautiful. I don't know how to play for darn nothing. But everybody should be learning something all the time. Learn how to cook. One of the best ways you can improve your health is to learn to make what you're going to eat. If you want to eat bread and crackers and other things that I would call processed and refined and not suitable, eat them. Learn to make them. Because that way you put in as few ingredients as you find necessary. If you like Italian bread or French bread, learn to make them. Well, you still gotta buy it at the store. The stuff. Okay, if you're buying a loaf of Italian bread or French bread at the store, it's gonna have a lot more ingredients in it that you don't need than what you would make if you just use a really good quality bread flour, or it might be a mixture of bread flour and cake flour, bread flour and all-purpose flour, but you'll have fewer ingredients, fewer additives than the ones at the store, and you'll eat it a lot fresher. And yeah, even the ones that come hot out of the bakery section, they put them on a little rack where you can grab one as you're walking by. They smell good, they look good, but they still have a lot of extra stuff in them. You can cut down on part of what is going in your face or in your family's faces, and just everybody be that tiny bit more healthy. If you want cheeseburgers, learn to make the burger buns and grow your vegetables. I mean, seriously, there are recipes in the world for pretzel buns if you like the ones at Red Robin and at the grocery store. But it's still going to be better than buying those buns at the grocery store because of the additives. You're not putting in all the additives. You use fresh butter and eggs, as fresh as you can get. If you have a cow and you make your own butter, which is a little less work than making cheese, but it'll be fresh and won't have extra stuff. For the most part, butter doesn't need extra stuff. Cream and salt. And then you agitate it and the butter fat separates. And you have a wonderful soft butter. And then you pack it into a pan if you wish, or a dish. Set it in the refrigerator. And when that goes firm, you have something that's going to last in there for a while. And it's just really good. Making butter is very easy. I've made cheese a couple of times. I don't have a cow or a goat. But for a while, the little tiny dairy around the corner has since closed up, but I could get their raw milk. And whenever they had some milk that was partly frozen, and the butter fat starting to separate, I could get that at $1 off and get extra and make cheese. That was so good. They also had cheeses and butter made from raw milk that are so good. For some reason they called the butter Amish style. We don't actually have a lot of Amish in Texas. We have Mennonites, which they do a lot of stuff Amish style. And their children tend to do chores and be very well behaved. I should call the dog out with me. It's definitely doggy time. But he's inside because Daddy's here. And he's still recovering from a long weekend without Daddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, he wasn't following me around earlier, so I stepped outside without him. I caught a little bit of a video, Nutrition with Judy Cho. She's actually reasonably local to me because she's in Austin. And she had someone on that was talking about vitamin D. I see you, bud. You can go potty where you want. No chicken chasing. He's not even thinking. Oh, he might have thought about it, but yeah, he looks across the street, checks on the big dog over there. You come sit with me? Come sit with me. I'll show you to my friends. Yeah, we have Bill Knott, Purple Plum Maze. I don't know what the name means to her, but I like purple and I like plums. It's another supply of fruit that, come on, buddy, that will attract wildlife. Come on. Here we go. Let's get my little guy on here. Yeah. I show you to the people. Little bitty dog. He needed a place to be. And fortunately, he found his way here. And we kept him and fed him. He needed fed badly. But, now he takes up a great deal of my day, every day. And that's okay. Yes, it is. It's okay. He does seem quite devoted to keeping me moving since the TIA. Oh, I was looking for my copy of the children's book Matilda yesterday, or the day before, after mentioning that I should probably start reading children's stories out loud on video, and then just giving a link to those who have a small child and are interested in increasing the amount of grandma time their small children get, because some small children don't get any. I could not find Matilda, but I got online, I got on Amazon, I put it in my shopping list, and I put the Peter Rabbit set on my shopping list. What, puppy, where are you going? Here you is. You is a good dog. Before too long, I will be making some videos that I'll make sure to include the pictures. Somebody's having some car trouble. I can hear that sound when they're on the key and they got it turned and they're not taking the hint. If it ain't starting, you got other things to think about than just the key. The key and the gas pedal are great, but it's not even beginning to catch. I mean, check the ground wire on the starter first, beginning. I'm about as technical, engine-wise, as semi-retired Bob is scientific. He will tell you, Bob gets in trouble when Bob does science. He's not dumb. He knows what he knows, and other people know what they know. And he's smart enough to appreciate how much work goes into knowing the things that they know that he never spent time on. I, however, have had so many vehicles that had problems that sometimes I can guess correctly on things. I also married a guy who thinks that people learn this stuff by osmosis. And just because he spent his entire teen years working on cars does not mean I did. No, I do not know all that stuff. But I know that if one or another wire is off of your starter, if it's not grounded properly, you're going to have starting problems. And if the circuit is not completed because the positive or negative are off, you're going to have problems. If you're trying to start it and you smell the gasoline, then fuel probably is not the problem. It is a school day because it's a Wednesday and school's not out for the year yet. But I can hear somebody's little one being very happy about something. They might just be running around in the yard trying to figure out what chickens are and what they do and is there anything fun about them. I saw a little bird a little while ago. Something like a finch or a chickadee. I'm not up on small bird identification, but it wasn't one of the colorful ones. And it had just flown in and landed where the chickens had been looking around. So it was probably after those same things. Just smart enough not to compete with the chickens for it. Because if there's any seeds or any bugs to be had, you don't compete with something that's big enough to peck you to death or claw you with those tyrannosaur feet that chickens have. Might be why the dog is still not getting in trouble for chasing chickens. Yeah, you, buddy. I'm talking about you. Many a dog will chase chickens. That's fact. Or steal eggs or whatever. But, this one ain't very big. About 9 pounds. At the most. I was saying that Bill is on the channel now, Purple Plum Maze, and Danielle Modib. Danielle, there are some chat places where they're making comedy and crossovers with Dune. And they call it siege posting. Go have a look. If you're already a fan, you'll understand and get a good laugh. If you're not, it'll be wasted. And Dune is one of those books I've gone back to many times. My most recent attempt to read it, though, was post-TIA. So, I just couldn't get going. The brain changes that much when it has a bad insult. And that's one of the reasons I was thinking of reading little kids' books. As I started reading, my sister taught me. I must have been 2 at the time when she would have started teaching me, because that would be when she was 5 and would have started learning. So no, I don't remember not knowing how to read. I remember some stuff being kind of beyond me, but I just kept reading. And a lot of my teachers through grade school did not really appreciate that, and high school too. They don't want you to attempt to read something until they tell you what it means or what you're supposed to be getting out of it. You give me a book at the beginning of the semester and say, we're going to be reading a lot of this. Well, hold on to your horses. I'm going to read it. All of it. And sometimes I did that with my math book, too. You're not supposed to do this, and you're not supposed to do that, and you're supposed to show your work. What, you don't see where I carried that, and that's showing my work? Here's a tip for all the kids out there, or people who have kids. If they figure out what to do by reading the instructions, then you don't have to wait on someone else to tell you what you're supposed to think about it. Read the instructions and understand them, and move on. They might not like it when they say, we're going to do all the even-numbered problems on page 90. You open up page 90 and you can choose between the paper where you've written out all the even numbers, or the paper you've inserted where you've written out all the odd ones, or the paper you've put all of them on. It's already got your name. You just fill in the date and hand it in. They don't like that. They don't want you to know what they didn't tell you to know. They're kind of like the government that way. Once you're reading good, don't let anything stop you. Which is why I'm trying to get back to where I was. Now, I did read something. Managed to follow along a Dale Bredesen, Dr. Dale Bredesen book, and another book by another doctor since the TIA. But essentially, I've been plowing through things, doing what I can for my brain. It's a lot of work. I think I'll go back to the kitty stuff and just work my way back up through. I mean, I can never replace the years and titles that I had already invested in reading. But I can get a pretty good approximation. I can get the books out, I can read them, I can show the pictures, I can talk about the characters. And that is what it will take to get a lot of littler kids more connected to books. And I can tell them Grandma loves them. Okay, I don't hear that trying the key sound anymore. So somebody may have stopped and realized that that ain't starting. Where the power line over there. Another one further over. Doggy, we gotta go in and check the food. It's getting about that time. Yep, been a half hour. Come on, puppy. Gotta go check on my lunch. Okay, did that. He came in like a good boy. He wasn't done just hanging around out here, so we came back out. I was talking about children's books. when I get the new ones, I think I will take to, I'm going to have to put my rocking chair back in my truck instead of Loki's truck. Unless he's moved it into the red truck again. But I'll get that moved, and I'll go read in some of the nice parks. Williamson County has some beautiful parks. One of them has a hard-to-spot water snake that's indigenous to the area that is not venomous. It looks a lot like a cottonmouth, and the Parks Department employees have been trained to spot him and to tell people, please don't bother this snake. He's shy and he's not venomous. And there's also some donkeys kept at a historical, it's an open barn, I guess. So, for one thing, some critters should not be alone. So when one donkey passed, they got another one in there to keep the older one company. And people go by and occasionally will feed a carrot or an apple or something. But you really have to contain yourself because there's so many people who will feed anything that's available to anything that's available. But they're nice critters. If they come and stick their head over the fence, they might want some petting and a little scratching. Because they don't have fingers. Hard to get that itch just exactly right, you know? But I think if I introduce a place or, a park or a stream or a tree, the kids who don't get to parks very often might enjoy that. And then open up my rocking chair, sit down and read. I think that would be enjoyable for me. And there'll be more exercise because I'd be moving that camp style rocking chair around. I mean, I've got a camp chair in there, but I don't need one that big anymore. And I think that the extra sturdy camp chair I've got, I think Loki took that as a little bit of an insult. Because he was getting to the point that he was past the weight limit for most of our camp chairs and things. But it's nice to have a chair you can invite someone to have a seat on and not worry. Although, around here, even 300 is not the upper limit for people to weigh. You would think it would not be a good idea to be that heavy and try to live a normal life. It isn't, really. But there's people heavier than that, and they have issues. And they're like one sprained ankle or broken toe away from being housebound. Like, you're almost 400 pounds, you're diabetic, you don't move good, you got problems. Why don't you start taking care of yourself? I said earlier, I said earlier, if you're making your food at home, you're going to be getting in a lot less additives. Additives you don't need, and they are not good for you. If you grow even a small amount of your vegetables, say you just want some lettuce and tomatoes for your burgers. Yeah, how much can you really trust what they're putting on the vegetables before they even get to the grocery store? And they're using chemicals that don't wash off. They get in your system and they're there forever. Do you want that in your body? Do you want that in your kids' bodies? We don't know yet what the long-term effects of these things will be because no one has been eating them ever before. So there's nobody around who's 50 years old or older who's had this in their food supply all their life who can say, oh, my problem started when I started getting that. Or all my problems ended when I started getting that. Grow some of your own vegetables, whether it's lettuce or tomatoes, or if you like fruit. Some people still eating plant matter. They might want to plant strawberries and blueberries and whatever. But eat things your Stone Age ancestors might have recognized. Here's a hint for you. Outside of the meat and the berries at the store, they wouldn't recognize any of that as food. If you could bring one of them forward in time and try to offer them a modern meal, they might think it's great that you've got so many convenience items and choices. They might eat it and spit it out and go, how on earth can you put that in front of people? Or they might hit you over the head for trying to kill them. Because there's that much in our food now that doesn't belong there. Which is why so many of us, out of desperation, are returning to the hypercarnivore diets of our ancestors. Yeah, at 70% or more of your intake being meat, you're a carnivore. And then you get up a certain amount more and you're a hypercarnivore. Like wolves and coyotes and me. Although, like some people, I'll occasionally have something to eat that is not meat. Every now and then, a cup of coffee with some cream in it. No coffee today. Or some yogurt. No little plastic cup yogurt either. I gotta get the Bulgarian style. Made with whole milk. Now, I don't know if it's made with the whole milk that you would get out of the refrigerator case for children to put on cereal, or it's made with whole milk that hasn't been the least bit separated down to a prescribed fat level. But meats and fats are my macros. So after I have some yogurt, I pour some cream into the jar and shake it and put it back in the refrigerator. Just in case it's made with partly separated milk, I get the fat level back up in it. And that first serving I scoop out, I often add a splash of cream to that too. My blueberries are not quite ready to go into a bowl of yogurt yet. I heard a sound, I couldn't tell what it was. Couldn't tell if somebody's kid is just occasionally hitting something with something else or what. And then I noticed that there's some hibiscus or something blooming down the way. Pretty. Hibiscus is one of those things you don't generally have to worry about. I've said before, if you catch your toddler eating a dandelion, the only time that's a concern is if you're in the habit of dumping poison on things in your yard, because some people don't like dandelions. If you don't like it, pull it up, put it in the trash, whatever. But don't poison your environment to get rid of it. Okay. I think my lunch is about done. I'm going to have to make Doggy go back in. Hey, puppy dog. We're going to go in. He's not listening. Birds are chattering, so he's got to listen to those. Sometimes I wonder what the message is. Now, if I ever catch the sound on a recording, or if you just want to look it up, you probably find a recording of it somewhere on the web. The roadrunners that are all over Texas, because they're native here, they can make a rattly sound that somewhat approximates a rattlesnake. They pretty much only do that when they're looking for rattlesnakes, because they eat rattlesnakes. So if you're recent to Texas or just haven't bothered learning anything about our birds, or if you're thinking of visiting Texas, that's something to know. Early in the year when they hatch out, they don't rattle much. They just lay still and move around and hunt for bugs when they're babies. But the fact that roadrunners have occasionally been caught on camera imitating rattlesnakes. Come on, puppy. Come on. Mail delivery is running around doing stuff. Come on, puppy. We don't want chihuahuas chasing the mailman. It's time going anyway for lunch. Y'all take care. Grandma loves you.